Guys, looking at the Bitcoin chart, I am getting pretty scared because there are a lot of economical data coming out next week, and I'm going to inform you about each and every one of them in today's video so you are fully prepared for the following week. And on top of that, technically we are not looking too good, so make sure to watch until the end of this video so you are fully informed about everything. And guys, if you do want to be trading Bitcoin this week, you can head over to either Bitflex or Bybit, because if you sign up to Bitflex using the link in the description below, you can actually get a chance to winning a free Apple Watch Series 8 giveaway, which is ending next week, I believe. So if you want to get a chance to win that, you just got to use the link, deposit at least 100 USDT, and make at least one trade on their derivatives platform. But starting off with a technical analysis for Bitcoin. Now, if I look at the macro chart, then I'm going to zoom in to the minor charts in just a second, but the macro timeframes are actually what matter the most. So looking at the macro, we are trading at $30,092 at the moment. Now, if you go back to my previous videos, I've been discussing about this for ages, right? I've been discussing that we are at critical resistance for Bitcoin. Now, this 30,000, I mean, the 28.8 to $32,000 level has acted as tremendous support in Bitcoin's history. We can see that we've had multiple touchbacks to this level. We've also seen it as resistance too, and it's just been a phenomenal level. Now, the bad thing is, right, we formed our higher high on Bitcoin. We made our higher high on the weekly time frame, which is of course good because then we're continuing the upward trend on the weekly. However, now we're seeing a reversal from this level, which is an indication that now we could be forming our higher low. So necessarily we're probably not going to come to the 24.8k level, but it's likely that we come to a level above that, so we form our higher low and keep that bullish uptrend. And on top of this, right, I've talked about this for a very, very long time. We are forming a bearish divergence on the weekly time frame, which is something that I'm not liking whatsoever. And if this bearish divergence comes into play, which it looks like it will, then we can see a massive reversal. It won't be super massive, but we could come down to the 28.7k level, in my opinion, if this level plays out. Now, once we zoom into the lower time frames, I'm going to be showing you exactly where you could potentially enter your positions. But guys, remember, of course, nothing in this video is financial advice at all. It's just my own personal technical analysis and opinions on the financial markets only. You really have to just take my analysis and then combine it with your own and then come to your own conclusions. That's the only way you can become a successful trader, by not depending on anybody else. Now, if I jump into the smaller time frames, like the 4-hourly, for example, now I'm going to get rid of a bunch of these stuff so it's not confusing for you guys. So we get rid of this, and now I switch on this little pattern over here. Now, I share this pattern on my free Telegram channel. I believe I shared it yesterday, so let's double check on that. Let me switch to the Telegram. So looking at the Telegram, I discussed this potential ascending triangle pattern. Now, of course, this pattern, it has, in my opinion, right, most of the time on Bitcoin, this pattern breaks towards the upside, but there was no real guarantee because the market is mixing up a lot. So in actually next couple of days, I'm going to be making a video that's not technical analysis whatsoever. It's just fundamental news on why on the macro it's actually a very good time to be buying Bitcoin if you're a hodler. But this video is more technical analysis and discussing these short-term opportunities via technical analysis, right? So but if we have a look at the Telegram once again, I discussed this pattern, and if we have a look at the chart, we actually saw a nice breakdown. We had a little bit of a scam wick over there, which of course, we have fake breakouts. I call this scam wick, but it's just a fake breakout. You can manage that by having a good stop loss, right? And then we saw the break towards the downside, and the target for this is at the 29.8k level, but you would be in profit so far if you did decide to take this trade, of course. But I want to zoom out just a little bit more because this is a bit irrelevant for me. I mean, the market's been pretty choppy the past couple of weeks, right? If I look into the macro, we can see that we're in this uprising bull flag, although it's not looking too good because we are testing the support of this uprising bull flag more so than the top resistance, and it's making the support pretty weak. And on top of this, we're actually forming a double top on the daily time frame, and of course this double top is also accompanied by the weekly bearish divergence. This is why I am pretty bearish on Bitcoin. It's not looking good at all to me. So I think this week is going to be definitely very, very volatile because we do have a lot of news events coming up. So the first important one will be on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we will have the CPI data come out, and of course, this will impact the market so much. Although it's probably not going to give us a large impact in terms of a mega price movement, because if we go to the previous CPI data for Bitcoin, right, that was on the 13th of June. So let's go to the chart. Let's go to the 13th of June. We can see that on the 13th of June, we did have, I believe it was a big candle. So it was a little bit of a volatile candle right there. Once we had the news, we did see this dump towards the downside. So I believe it was a buy the rumors, sell the news situation, as the CPI data came out pretty low. It came much lower than expected at 4.9%. Of course, we did see this pump, but that was not because of the CPI. That was due to the BlackRock, etc. All those came in at that time. That's why Bitcoin saw the massive rally. So I don't think the CPI data will be affected too much. I mean, it is incredibly bullish because if we come to the forecast target, we'd actually be nearing the Fed chair's target inflation rate, which is at 2%. And at 2%, they're planning on reducing the interest rate. So the faster we approach the 2% goal, the faster interest rates actually do not rise, which would be bullish for Bitcoin. Although it'd actually be more bullish, right? If you look at it on the macro, if interest rates rise, then banks collapse, and then if banks collapse, then Bitcoin skyrockets. So in the short term, it's bullish, right, if interest rates decrease, but in the macro scale, if we want to reach to $1 million Bitcoin, then it is actually pretty bearish. So it's fine. I don't think we'll see a mega impact on the markets due to the CPI, but most likely it's going to be pretty bullish. What's most important is the core CPI, which will determine what the interest rate will come to. So that is the first news event that will happen, which is on Wednesday. Now, there should be more if I'm not wrong. The next one is the PPI. The PPI doesn't tend to impact Bitcoin that much, if I'm honest with you. Unemployment does, however. Unemployment for sure does, but it's not as big impact as it does on the stock market itself. But I believe those are the two important ones for the upcoming week, so do stay tuned for those. Of course, the place I like to use to track these news events, the economic data events, are on forexfactory.com. It's a free tool. I love it, and you can go ahead and head to there. But that is what I'm looking at for Bitcoin, guys. In terms of a trade, right? In terms of a trade, I really want to short. I mean, we've tried to short previous times, right? But we did have that wick that stopped us out, which happens, right? But we do good risk management. Of course, if you do good risk management, then you don't worry about your trades. You don't worry about losing money, which is super important. And you really need to learn good risk management before you learn technical analysis. In the macro, risk management is more important because risk management determines how much money you risk into a trade. I know so many friends that got lucky, right? They did back-to-back very successful trades. They went all in on some. They made millions of dollars, but one went wrong and they lost 90% of their money. So good risk management is always better than technical analysis, so you don't lose more money than you should be losing. But in terms of a trade, I personally think that, I have a no trade rule on economic data days. I think the CPI will be volatile. So the next Monday and Tuesday could be a good time to open a trade, and I will be making a video hopefully tomorrow and the day after. So for a trading opportunity, do make sure to stay tuned on the channel, turn on your notification bell, and then we will see. But on Wednesday, I'm not going to trade because that is CPI day. Most likely the day before I won't trade also, because that's my rule, the day before, the day after. But of course, you can do whatever you want. If we have a massive move towards the downside, then I can catch the trend and jump in there. But guys, that is pretty much it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video very soon. Take care, everyone, and bye-bye.